The stars outside the orbital academy looked like tiny lights on a black curtain. Cadet Alex Renner walked alone through the academy's botanical dome. It was his favorite place. The plants were green and peaceful, and the air smelled like earth clean and fresh. He often came here to clear his mind after classes. Today was no different. He had finished a long lecture about alien history and diplomacy. The teacher had spoken about old wars, strange species, and failed peace talks. Alex had listened, but none of it felt real. It was all just information, cold and distant. As he walked past a group of glowing trees, he noticed something strange. A figure stood near the fountain in the middle of the dome, tall, still, not wearing a cadet uniform. At first he thought it was just a visiting officer. As he walked closer, he saw more details. The person had silver skin, long white hair, that shimmered like moonlight, and glowing blue eyes. Her armor was smooth, not like any human design he had seen before. Symbols on her chest plate glowed softly, written in a language he didn't know. She turned toward him and smiled. Alex stopped walking. His heart beat faster. Something about her felt ... familiar, but that made no sense. The girl stepped forward slowly and tilted her head. Her voice was calm, gentle, but had a strange echo to it. "I can't believe it. The last time I saw you, you were just a baby." Alex blinked. "Excuse me?" She looked into his eyes like she was looking into the past. "Your name is Alex Renner, born on Earth, year 2308. Your parents were fleet captains in the Battle of Adara Prime." Alex took a step back. "How do you know that?" Sfusas said. "I helped carry your escape pod to the evacuation ship. I thought you were lost in the chaos, ... but here you are." Alex tried to stay calm, but his mind was spinning. His parents had died in that battle. That much he knew. But nobody had ever told him how he survived. It was always labeled classified. "Who are you?" he asked. "My name is Salari." "I am Alari, from the star system Alicia." She placed her hand over her chest and bowed slightly. "My people were allies of Earth once. I served as a peace envoy before the Krell War." Alex had heard of the Alari, but they were only mentioned briefly in history class. They were quiet, now diplomatic, peaceful, and rare. Most humans had never seen one in person. "You knew my parents?" Alex asked carefully. Salari nodded. "They were brave, strong. They believed in peace, even during war. When the Krell attacked, they made sure the children were saved first. You were just a baby. I was assigned to protect the evacuation ships. When I saw your pod floating in space, I brought it in myself." Alex didn't know what to say. He had always wondered why there were no photos of his early years. He had grown up in military housing, passed from caretaker to caretaker. No family, no answers, until now. "Why didn't anyone tell me?" he asked. "I don't know," Salari said. "But I had to be sure it was you before I approached you. The moment I saw you walk through that door, I knew. You have your father's eyes and your mother's spirit. I could feel it." Alex sat down on a nearby bench, his legs suddenly heavy. This was too much, too strange. But deep down, a part of him believed her. There was something honest in her voice, in her eyes. "Why now?" he asked. "Why come back after all these years?" Salari looked up at the glass ceiling. The stars were moving slowly as the station orbited the planet below. "Because danger is coming again," she said. "And your past, ... is not just history. It's the key to something greater, something powerful, something others want to find before you do." "What kind of danger?" Alex asked. "I can't say yet," she replied. "Not here, not now. But if you trust me, I will show you. There are things buried in the galaxy that should never be forgotten. You are part of one of them." Alex stood up. His training told him to report this. A strange alien approaching him, talking about secret pasts and danger that was not normal. It might even be dangerous. But his heart told him something else. This wasn't an attack. This was a warning. And maybe, just maybe, it was a second. A chance to understand who he really was. Salari looked at him again. "Walk with me, Alex Renner. Let me tell you what your parents died to protect." Let me show you what you were born to become. He looked into her glowing blue eyes. Then he nodded slowly. All right, he said. I'll listen. And with that, Alex Renner took his first step into the unknown, a path that would soon change not just his life, but the future of the entire galaxy. Alex walked beside Sailory through a quiet part of the academy. Most cadets were still in class or resting in their dorms. The halls felt colder than usual, even though the station systems always kept the temperature perfect. It wasn't. The air was the weight of the words she had spoken. You're saying I was saved in a war I don't even remember, Alex said slowly, and my parents died protecting something, or someone. Solari nodded. They died protecting both, and I believe it's time you learn the truth. They reached a small service tunnel. Solari pressed a button on her bracelet. A glowing blue light scanned the wall, and a hidden door slid open. Alex hesitated, but she looked at him calmly. It's safe, she said. No one knows about this room, not even your commanders. Alex stepped inside. The room was small and round, filled with soft lights and strange floating screens. Symbols in the Alari language floated in the air, changing every second. In the center of the room stood a round table made of silver and crystal. Solari touched it, and a hologram appeared above Eton Old Battlefield, silent and broken. Was Adara Prime? This, Solari said, is where everything changed? Alex stared at the ruined planet in the hologram. Black smoke rose from shattered cities. Giant ships floated in orbit, some broken in half. He'd seen pictures in textbooks before, but this was different. This was real. My people, Solari began, once believed that humans were not ready for the larger galaxy. Many feared your strength, your speed, your emotions. But your parents proved something powerful. They believed humans and Alari could work together. So, a secret project was started. Lex turned to look at her. What kind of project? She looked at him seriously. A hybrid. What? Not in the way you think, she added quickly. You are fully human. But your parents agreed to something special before you were born. They allowed Alari scientists to place something ancient inside your DNA. Something not from any race, but from a lost civilization. Alex's heart raced. Are you saying I have alien tech in me? Yes, she replied. A memory core, a code that connects you to the world mind. He stepped back. What's the world mind? Solari took a deep breath, thinking machine older than any of us. It's not evil. It's not good. It just exists. And it remembers everything. Wars, peace, ideas. It was made to help civilizations grow, to share knowledge. But during the Krell War, both sides wanted to use it as a weapon. And my parents hid it? Alex asked. No, Solari said. They hid you, because only someone with the memory core can find the world mind. And now, there are those who know it still exists. Alex sat down slowly on a bench near the wall. He had trained for battles, passed tests, studied history, but nothing had prepared him for this. He wasn't just a cadet anymore. Something. Much bigger something people might want to use. Or destroy. So why are you telling me now? He asked. Why not 10 years ago? Or 5? Because now you are old enough to choose, Solari said softly. You must decide if you want to follow this path. I won't force you. But if you stay here much longer, others will find you. People who won't give you a choice? Like who? She hesitated, then looked him straight in the eyes. The Earth Defense Council, she said. Alex frowned. That's our government. Yes, she replied, and they know part of the truth. Not all, but enough to be afraid of you. Alex stood up again, feeling the walls closing in. Why would they fear me? Because if you unlock the world mind, Solari said, you might have access to knowledge and power that no human has ever had. You could change how the galaxy works. That scares people, especially those in control. Alex looked at the glowing battlefield again, the ruins, silence. He thought of his parents' names he had only seen in records, faces he had never truly known. Do you really think they died to protect me? He asked quietly. Solari walked to him and placed her hand on his shoulder. I know they did. She said, your mother placed you in the escape pod herself. I was there, she smiled, even in the middle of war. She believed you would grow up and do something great. Not because of the tech inside you, but because of your heart. Alex looked down, struggling to speak. So many emotions filled his chest: confusion, fear, curiosity, and something new. Purpose. What happens now? He asked. Solari stepped back. Now we prepare. There's more to show you, but we must be careful. If the council finds out I've told you the truth, they will try to stop us. Alex nodded slowly. Then we keep it quiet, yes, Solari said, and soon we leave this station. There is someone who can help you unlock the memory core. An old friend of your parents, scientist who vanished after the war? We'll need to find him. And if the council finds us first? Solari's expression turned serious. Then we'll have to run. Alex looked once more at the battlefield above the table, clenched his fists, then looked at Solari. Want to know who I really am, he said. Want to know why my parents believed in me? Show me everything? Solari smiled. Then we begin. And in that moment, the cadet who had walked quietly through the botanical dome just hours ago took his first real step into a hidden war, one not fought with weapons alone, but with secrets, courage, and the memory of a past that refused to be forgotten. The night on the Orbital Academy was quiet. Most cadets were sleeping in their quarters, dreaming of space battles and distant worlds. But Alex Renner and Solari were wide awake, moving carefully through the dim corridors. Solari led Alex to a hidden elevator tucked behind a storage room. The walls here were plain, with no signs of security cameras or alarms. Her glowing blue eyes scanned a panel next to the door, and the elevator slid open silently. Inside, the air smelled cooler, with a faint metallic scent. The elevator dropped quickly, deeper than any public floor of the station. It stopped with a soft ding. This is the research wing, Solari whispered. Very few people are allowed here. What we find could change everything, you know. Alex felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He followed her down a narrow hallway lined with thick glass windows. Inside the labs, strange machines hummed quietly. Holographic displays floated above tables cluttered with tools and devices. Solari stopped in front of a large console. She typed a code on the screen, and a 3D model of a human cell appeared. Then, she touched the model, and it zoomed in to show a glowing strand of DNA. This is you, Solari said softly. Your DNA, but not just human. Alex leaned closer. Trying to understand? The screen showed strange symbols mixed with the familiar genetic code. Solari pointed to a small section glowing in blue. This part is alien, she explained. Your parents agreed to have this implanted before you were born. It was part of a secret project between humans and the Alari. Alex's heart raced. Why me? Why did they do this? Solari's eyes softened. Because they believed you could bridge two worlds. You are a symbol of hope, Alex. A living link between species that once fought but now want peace. Alex looked away, unsure what to think. But how does it work? Solari smiled. The alien code is like a key. It lets you connect to something called the world mind. Alex frowned. You said that before, but I still don't understand. She pulled up a hologram of a huge sphere floating in space. The sphere was covered in glowing lines and dots like a giant brain made of light. The world mind is an ancient machine. It was created by a civilization long gone. It stores all knowledge, all memories from many worlds. It can help people learn, grow, and solve problems. Alex's eyes widened. That sounds amazing, but why is it hidden? Because it is. Also very powerful, Solari said. Some want to use it as a weapon. Others want to control it to rule the galaxy. Your parents hid the key inside you so it wouldn't fall into the wrong hands. Alex ran his hand through his hair. So, I'm like a walking password. Solari laughed softly. In a way, yes. Suddenly, a soft beep came from the console. Solari's eyes widened. Someone is trying to access the research wing. She whispered. Alex's heart pounded. Who? Solari didn't answer. Instead, she grabbed his hand. We have to move now. They ran through the hallways, the sound of footsteps growing louder behind them. Alex could hear voices on the station's communication system security teams being alerted. Solari led him to a maintenance hatch and opened it. It was a tight crawl space, but they slipped inside just before the security doors closed. In the dark tunnel, Alex could hear the guards searching above. "They know we're here," Solari said quietly. "The Earth Defense Council is moving. Fast." Alex swallowed hard. "Why are they so afraid of me?" Solari looked at him with serious eyes. "Because if they control the world mind, they control the future, and you have the key." They crawled through the narrow tunnel until they reached a hidden elevator shaft. Solari hacked the control panel. The elevator cables hummed as the cabin dropped down. When the doors opened, they found themselves in an old storage bay filled with crates and supplies. Alex took a deep breath, trying to calm down.
What
do we do now?" "We need to find someone who can help unlock your full potential," Solari said. "There's a scientist, Dr. Leonard Voss, who worked with your parents. He disappeared after the Krell War. If anyone knows how to use the world mind, it's him." Alex frowned. "How do we find him?" Solari pulled out a small device's star map with blinking lights marking locations across the galaxy. "His last known position was near the nebula of Zalara," she said. "It's a dangerous place, but it's our best lead." Alex nodded. "Then we go there." Solari smiled. "Good, but first we need to prepare. This won't be easy. The Council's agents will be looking for us everywhere." Over the next few hours, they gathered supplies from the storage bay, food packs, communication devices, and a small blaster for protection. Alex felt a strange thrill. He was no longer just a cadet. He was part of something bigger than himself. As dawn approached, they made their way to the station's small shuttle bay. Solari used her access codes to unlock a sleek ship, silver and streamlined, built for speed and stealth. Alex climbed inside, his hands trembling slightly as he buckled into the pilot seat. "Ready?" Solari asked, sitting beside him. He nodded. "Let's find Dr. Voss and unlock the secrets of the past." The shuttle rose quietly from the station, slipping into the black void of space. Stars stretched out before them like a promise endless, mysterious and full of hope. Alex stared out the window, feeling the weight of his new journey. The path ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear. He was no longer alone. Solari was by his side. Together, they would face whatever dangers awaited, because this was only the beginning. The stars outside the shuttle window twinkled like tiny candles. The ship, named Luma, glided silently through space. Inside, Alex Renner sat in the pilot seat, staring ahead at the glowing colors of the Zalara Nebula. Looked peaceful, like soft clouds painted with blue, purple, and pink light. But Solari was not calm. She sat beside him, eyes locked on the scanner screen. Her fingers moved quickly, checking energy signals and tracking patterns. "This nebula hides many things," she said quietly. "Not just stars and gas. Pirates, old machines, and things even I don't understand." Alex swallowed hard. "And this is where Dr. Voss is." "We think so," she replied. "His ship was last detected entering the outer edge of this nebula 10 years ago. After that, nothing." Alex looked back out the window. "Why would he hide here?" "Because it's the last place the Council would search," she said. "Even their best ships don't like coming this deep. The gravity here changes often. Navigation becomes dangerous." As they entered the colorful cloud, the ship's lights flickered. Alex held the controls steady. "Do you trust him?" asked Solari, paused for a moment. Dr. Leonard Voss was once the lead scientist for the Human Alari Memory Project. He helped design the memory core inside you. He was your father's friend. Alex looked down at his hands. "Then maybe he has answers. About the world mind. About me." The nebula grew thicker, and the ship began to shake. Solari reached over and pressed a few buttons. The front shield activated, glowing with light as it pushed back the heavy clouds. Suddenly, a red light flashed on the screen. "Unidentified object ahead," Solari said quickly. "Switch to manual flight." Alex grabbed the controls as a large shape appeared through the mist. It was an old ship, dark, broken, and floating without power. Parts of it were missing, like it had been attacked long ago. Salari scanned it. No life signs. But, wait, what is it? Alex asked. There's a signal, she said. It's weak. An old Alari beacon. From before the war. Alex stared at the ship. You think it's a trap? I don't know, she replied. But we can't ignore it. They brought the shuttle close and docked with the larger ship. The docking port creaked as it connected. The airlock hissed open. Inside, it was dark and quiet. Alex stepped in first, holding a small light.
I'll dust.
Floated in the air, the walls were scratched and burned. Old wires hung from the ceiling. This place has been empty for years, he whispered. Salari walked beside him, scanning the walls with her device. This was a science vessel. Alari design. It's very old. But look, here at this control panel. Someone tried to erase all the data, but not everything, Alex said, pointing to a blinking light. They approached a console where a small red symbol blinked slowly. Salari placed her hand on the panel. A hologram appeared. A message told a tired man with silver hair and kind eyes. He was sitting at a desk, speaking quickly. If you're seeing this, then I didn't make it. It's Dr. Lena Voss. I've been hiding in the nebula for years, running from the Council and others who want the world means location. The memory core inside Alex Scifi still alive contains the final key, but it cannot be activated alone. It needs the vault, hidden deep inside the dead moon of Onera V. Alex, if you're hearing this, your parents were my friends. They gave everything to protect you. And now, it's your turn to protect the truth. The message ended. Alex stared at the empty space where the hologram had been. His chest felt tight. He's gone, he whispered. But he left the path forward, Salari said. Onera V, that's where we go next. They returned to the shuttle and set a new course. As the ship moved away from the old science vessel, Alex sat in silence, deep in thought. What are you thinking? Salari asked gently. I'm thinking. I never really knew my parents, he said. But they left behind so much. Not just blood, but a mission. She nodded. They believed in peace. In unity. They believed the world mind could help, not hurt. Alex looked at her. But if we find it, what happens then? Do we give it to Earth? To the Council? Salari was quiet for a moment. Give it to the people who will use it with wisdom, not for power, not for control. That sounds hard to find, Alex said. She smiled. It is. But maybe that's why it chose you. The ship flew silently toward the dead moon, hidden far beyond the edge of any star map. Onera Vi, a place lost to time, holding the last secret. His parents had protected, and as the nebula faded behind them, Alex felt something change inside him. This was no longer just about answers, it was about truth, and he would find it, no matter the cost. The journey to Onera Vi was long and silent. Outside the shuttle, space looked cold and endless. No stars twinkled here, only darkness and the distant glow of a dying sun. The moon itself, Onera Vi, floated like a ghost in the shadows. It was covered in cracks, sharp mountains, and deep craters. It looked like it hadn't seen life for centuries. As the shuttle landed, the dust rose gently. The surface of the moon was still and gray, with no wind, no sound. Salari checked the readings. Place has no air. We'll need suits, she said. Alex nodded. He followed her to the storage chamber and slipped into his lightweight spacesuit. The helmet locked in place with a soft hiss. As they stepped outside, every footstep left a deep mark in the dust. Where's the vault? Alex asked, his voice echoing inside the helmet. SAELAR? I looked at a small device on her wrist. Underground. The signal is faint, but it's there, about half a kilometer east. They walked side by side, carefully climbing over broken rocks and frozen ground. The silence was strange, but also peaceful. No machines, no ships, no people, just the sound of their own breaths. Finally, they reached a deep crack in the moon's surface. A smooth metallic door lay half buried in dust. Strange symbols were carved into it, Talari markings, old and glowing very faintly. This is it, Salari said. Alex looked at the door. How do we open it? She pointed to a small circle near the center. Place your hand there. Core inside you should do the rest. Alex hesitated. Then he stepped forward and placed his gloved hand on the circle. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the door began to glow. The symbols lit up one by one. The ground shook softly, and the door slid open with a low hum. Ramp led downward, into darkness. They turned on their lights and entered the vault. Inside, the walls were made of smooth stone and metal. Strange machines lined the hallway, all long-powered down. There were carvings on the walls, pictures of stars, people, planets, and something that looked like a sphere made of light. The world mind. It's real, Alex whispered. Yes, Solari said. And this place was built to protect it. They reached a large chamber at the end of the hall. In the center stood a circular platform. Round it were tall stone pillars covered in glowing lines. This is the heart of the vault, Solari said. Stand on the platform. Alex stepped forward and stood in the center. The pillars around him lit up. A beam of light rose from the floor and surrounded him. His body felt warm, like something inside him was waking up. Suddenly, his helmet screen went dark. Then a soft voice spoke inside his mind. Identity confirmed. Core signature accepted. Welcome, Alex Renner. Alex blinked. Did you hear that? He asked Solari. She nodded slowly. Yes, the vault is speaking to you. The light around him grew brighter. A sphere appeared above the platform, made of pure energy. Pulsed gently, like it was breathing. You carry the key, the voice continued. Do you wish to unlock the path to the world mind? Alex looked at Solari. She gave a small nod. Yes, he said. The sphere responded immediately. The chamber filled with light. Symbols flew through the air, circling Alex's body. He saw flashes images from the past. His mother, smiling and holding him as a baby. His father in a lab, speaking to Solari.
Out with the war?
The escape pod. The stars. Then the sphere dimmed. Path accepted, the voice said. The coordinates to the world mind are now inside your memory. Protect them. Use them wisely. The light faded. The vault grew quiet again. Alex stepped off the platform, breathing heavily. It's in my head now, he said. The location. Solari looked at him with pride. You've done it. You're the first human to reach this point, and we know where the world mind sleeps. Before they could celebrate, Solari's wrist device beeped. Someone's coming, she said. Fast. Who? Alex asked. She checked the signal. Her face grew serious. Council agents. A full squad. He must have tracked our shuttle. Alex's eyes widened. Can we escape? There's a back tunnel, she said. Old emergency exit. We must hurry. They ran through the vault, taking a narrow path that led behind the main chamber. The walls shook as distant explosions echoed through the moon's surface. They're trying to blast the front door. Alex shouted. They reached a small metal hatch. Solari opened it, and a ladder led up to the surface. Climb, she ordered. Alex climbed quickly, and Solari followed. They emerged behind a rocky hill, hidden from the main entrance. Their shuttle sat in the distance, but the council agents were already landing for dark ships surrounding the vault. We have to move fast, Solari said. They sprinted across the rough moon surface, dodging behind rocks to stay out of sight. As they reached the shuttle, alarms rang inside Alex's helmet. Missiles incoming. Solari pushed him into the pilot's seat. Fly now. Alex activated the engines. The shuttle lifted just as a missile hit the ground nearby, throwing dust and debris into the air. They broke through the moon's thin atmosphere and entered space. The council ships followed, firing lasers and tracking signals. Hold on, Alex shouted. He pulled the shuttle into a sharp dive, heading straight for a nearby asteroid belt. The rocks there spun wildly, crashing into each other. They won't follow us in, Solari said. It's too dangerous. Alex flew straight into the field, weaving between spinning rocks. The council ships slowed, unable to match the shuttle's speed. After several tense minutes, the radar went quiet. They're gone, Alex breathed. Scifi smiled. You did well? Alex looked ahead, gripping the controls. We have the location of the world mine now, he said. But they know we're close. They won't stop. No, Scifi said. But neither will we. The stars stretched out before them again, and the real journey had just begun. The stars outside the shuttle moved slowly as Alex and Scifi drifted through deep space. Behind them, Onera, Vi, and the council ships were far away. But Alex knew it wasn't over, now that the vault had revealed the location of the world mine. Everyone would be after them. Alex sat in the pilot's seat staring at the blinking coordinates. On the screen, a strange number sequence glowed in blue, placed in his mind by the vault. He could feel it like a whisper in the back of his thoughts. The world mine sleeps beyond the broken Stargate, he said quietly. Scifi nodded. Yes, that gate was once used to travel between galaxies, but during the war, it was destroyed. No one's used it in decades, but if we fix it, Alex began, then we can reach the world mine before the council does. Scifi finished. The ship followed the path through a forgotten region of space, known as the Shattered Spiral. Here, gravity shifted strangely. Stars bent light in odd ways. Many ships had disappeared here. It was quiet, almost too quiet. There it is, Scifi said, pointing through the front window. Alex looked up and gasped. A massive ring-shaped structure floated ahead. The broken Stargate. It was enormous, larger than a city and cracked in several places. Parts of the outer ring were floating in pieces. Sparks still flickered from old broken circuits. It looked like a sleeping giant, half buried in the darkness of space. It's beautiful, Alex said. And dangerous, Scifi added. Let's scan it first. The scanner beeped as it examined the gate. There's a power core inside, Scifi explained. Still alive, but weak. If we can connect your memory core to it, we might be able to reboot the system. Alex stood. Then let's do it. He suited up again and exited through the shuttle's airlock. With magnetic boots and safety lines, they floated toward the gate, landing near a broken panel that seemed like an access point. Alex placed his hand on the control pad. Lights flickered, but nothing happened. Scifi opened a side panel, revealing damaged wires and ancient circuits. We'll need to repair this first. The power flow is broken. As they worked together, Alex suddenly felt something, a soft hum. A sound that wasn't sound, more like a feeling in his chest. He turned toward the gate. Did you hear that? He asked. Scifi paused. No. What do you feel? Alex looked at the ring. It's like something is calling to me. The other side. She stared at him. Then the world mind is awake. Suddenly, warning lights flashed on their suits. Ships approaching, Scifi said. 3 no council symbols. Pirates. Alex's heart raced. We don't have weapons. Scifi pulled him behind the panel. Then we'll hide and finish this quickly. The pirate ships landed on the far side of the ring. Alex and Scifi could hear their boots clanging on the metal. Voices laughed through the coms. One pirate shouted, "Looks like someone already found the gate." "We'll take their ship," said another, "and sell the boy to the council." Alex tightened his jaw. They didn't even know him, but already people wanted to use him. He looked at Scifi. "We have to finish the repairs. Fast." She handed him a small tool. "Twist that bolt while I redirect the energy." They worked quickly, hands moving. Fast. Sparks flew. The gate hummed louder. The pirates got closer. "Come out, little aliens," one of them shouted. The lights on the gate flickered, first red, then yellow, then bright white. Alex placed his hand on the core again. "Access granted," the system said. Rebooting Stargate. The ring lit up with blue fire. A soft wind swept across the broken metal, even though there was no air in space. The pirates froze. "What is that?" one yelled. "Get back to your ship," shouted another. A deep pulse shook the gate. The center of the ring opened, revealing a swirling tunnel of light and stars. A wormhole. Alex and Scifi ran back to their shuttle, dodging the confused pirates. They reached the airlock just as the gate roared to life. "Go." Solari yelled as she closed the hatch. Alex jumped into the pilot's seat. Hold on. Da-da. Shuttle shot forward toward the ring. The pirates tried to follow, but their ships were too slow. We're in range, Solari said. The ship entered the wormhole. For a moment, everything twisted. The stars stretched like lines. Time felt slow and fast at the same time. Alex felt the presence again, the world mind, calling gently from the end of the tunnel. Then, the flash, they were through. Outside the window, a new star system glowed. A bright golden sun. 5 planets. And near the third one, a glowing sphere the size of a mountain. It pulsed with soft golden light. That's it, Solari whispered. The world mind. Alex stared in awe. We found it. They approached slowly. The sphere seemed alive. It was made of light and energy, floating in space like a living sun. Strange symbols danced on its surface. Alex's memory core began to glow again. It's responding to you, Solari said. I can feel its thoughts, Alex whispered. It's speaking in feelings, not words. He closed his eyes. He saw images people from Earth. From Alari, he saw history, joy, pain, war, peace, hope. The world mind was not a weapon. It was a mirror, a guide. Solari watched quietly. Does it say? Alex opened his eyes. It wants to help. But only if we're ready. And are we? She asked. Alex looked out at the golden light. I don't know, he said honestly, but I am. The golden light of the world mind pulsed, gently, like a heartbeat in the sky. Alex stood at the window of the shuttle, his eyes wide, his heart calm, but filled with wonder. The sphere looked peaceful and warm, though it was made only of pure light and ancient energy behind him. Solari checked the ship's systems. We are stable, she said. No danger around us yet, but I'm sure the Council is tracking us. Alex didn't answer. His hand rested on the control panel, and his mind was already reaching out toward the world mind. He could feel it again, that soft pull, like someone was knocking on a door in his thoughts. It's asking me to come closer, Alex said quietly. Solari looked at him. Are you ready? He nodded. I think I've been ready since I was born. They put on their suits and opened the hatch. Outside, there was no ground, no Pathoni space. But between them and the glowing sphere, a bridge of light suddenly appeared. It extended from the shuttle to the surface of the world mind. Alex stepped forward. Solari followed, her eyes filled with a mix of awe and caution, as Alex walked across the light bridge. He felt something shift inside him. His memory core left by his father was glowing softly. It was no longer just a device. It was alive now, connected. When they reached the surface, the sphere opened like a flower blooming. Inside was a chamber of light, and in the center floated a smaller orb, clear and full of stars. This is the heart of the world mind, Solari whispered. Alex stepped forward and placed his hand near it. The orb rose and hovered in front of his face suddenly. Everything around him changed. He was no longer standing in the chamber. He was floating in a white space, like a dream. A gentle voice spoke inside his mind, not loud, not in any language, but through feelings, pictures, and memories. You are the bridge between the stars, the world mind said. Human and Alari. Life and future. Alex saw images from Earth forests. Oceans, laughter, music. Then he saw the Alari world, flying cities, glowing gardens, peaceful skies. And then he saw the war, the sadness, the destruction. Both races had suffered. I was created to guide, not rule, the world mind said. But I cannot guide alone. Alex took a breath. What do you want from me? To choose, the voice said. Will you share the knowledge inside me with the galaxy, or will you hide it from those who may misuse it? Alex was quiet. He thought of the Council, their greed, their desire to control everything. He thought of the pirates, of how many wanted power only for themselves. But he also thought of people who were kind, who were brave, who wanted peace, just like his parents did. I will protect your knowledge, Alex said, but I won't hide it. I'll share it, but only with those who are ready to use it wisely. The world mind pulsed gently. Then I will follow you, Alex Renner. I will walk with you. The white light faded. Alex opened his eyes and found himself back in the chamber. Solari was watching him. What happened? It spoke to me, Alex said. It agreed to help. The orb began to glow brighter, and beams of energy shot into the stars. A signal, a message. What is it doing? Solari asked. It's waking up, Alex said. Sending peace to every world, showing them a better way. Just then, alarms rang inside their suits. Ships incoming, Solari said. Council ships, 5 of them. Alex's face grew serious. They're here to take it by force. We won't let them, Solari said. She stepped forward, pulling out a control device linked to the shuttle's shields. But before they could act, the world mind responded. A shield of golden light formed around the sphere. The council ships tried to fire, but their weapons turned into sparks. Their engines failed. One by one, the ships stopped, floating helplessly. Alex looked up. It's protecting itself. And then, something strange happened. From the council ships, small escape pods were launched. People inside them looked scared, confused, not hurt, just stopped. The world mind had disabled their weapons without harming them. It doesn't. Want to fight? Alex said. It wants to teach. Solari smiled. Then it truly is powerful. Not because it can destroy, but because it chooses not to. Back on the shuttle, Alex sent out a signal, message to Earth, to the Alari, to every race still listening. This is Alex Renner. Carry the memory of both humans and Alari. We found the world mind. It lives. And it's ready to help us build a better galaxy, one not ruled by fear, but by knowledge, peace, and understanding. People across the stars heard his words. Some feared, some hoped. But change had begun. 4 days Alex and Solari stayed with the world mind, learning. It shared knowledge of healing, of farming, of energy without harm. The kind of wisdom that could end hunger, cure disease, and unite worlds. The council was silent, but over time, small groups from Earth and Alari started arriving not with weapons, but with questions they wanted to learn, and Alex welcomed them. In time, a station was built around the world mind, not a fortress, but a school, a place where people from many planets could come to study, to grow, to understand each other. Alex became its guardian. Not a king, not a ruler, just a boy who had once been lost and had now found purpose. Solari stayed by his side, and others joined them. Together they protected the future, and the stars shone a little brighter. The end.